Okay, so I'm on the way to the beginning of this route tonight, and this is probably my last week as a super sub. Got an interview on Wednesday. I don't know how long it's going to be, if there's a longer gap before they start me or what. I mean, I guess I'll still be filling in. I've got one on a weekend on the day that I know is off, because they told me the 2 days off a week already. And so mid-October I've got some cash work to do for a guy, and it'll be fun. But I mean, for the regular... Oh, there went my ears. For the regular, just filling in everywhere thing, that is almost completely run out at this time. So I'm going to speak on that a little bit on a few things here and drop it on and probably have something later. I have limited battery tonight. So yeah. Let's see, when my dad was almost 18, I believe, so maybe he was 18 or 19, I can't remember. It was during Vietnam. The draft came out. His selective service card indicated that he would be drafted. That was how they could tell. He chose to go to the Navy rather than be drafted and probably become Marine infantry, some casualty. And actually, in all truth, I don't think he gave himself enough credit. He was pretty scared, but he might have survived. In life, he turned out to be a badass in pretty much every other way. He was not a violent person, though, and you don't want to get the peaceful guy going. And you don't want to make a peaceful guy a killer either, though, so... Anyways, after he got out of the Navy, I believe it was a 7-year stint, 4-year stint, I can't remember. I mean, I have documentation I can find out. It's not something I've really, prioritized as a thought much. But anyways, after he got out, the skills that he had as a machinist, being a submarine tender, basically got him a job at the local railroad shops, which was Burlington Northern at the time. And they have a repair depot. So anyways, he worked there for, 29 years. So if he got, I think he got back stateside in like 74. So if we go 75 and then add 30 years, he got 85, 95, 05. So no, it was almost 20 it was. So, yeah, in the mid to late 90s, they got pretty much everybody, they shut the thing down. Everybody got laid off. And, kind of the bottom dropped out for him, and he ended up, he worked so long and achieved a level of comfort and whatnot, then he had to go back to square one. And anybody in that situation would be upset and humiliated. He took it extremely well, that I thought, although at the same time he really harped on my mom when the same thing happened to her. But to be fair, she had also kind of done the same thing to him first, while trying to keep him motivated. So I don't know, he was about my age, I think. Maybe 10 years older. I don't know, I suppose I would be lucky to have the thing that I'm doing cease to be a thing for me at an earlier age, when I'm still capable of, a fair amount of time before I'm too decrepit to do anything useful. Anyways, yeah, this is just the first of a few thoughts I think I'm going to have tonight, and as we go on. This is an end of an era for me, and not to be too egotistical on it, I'm not trying to just make it about me. There's a dying art in newspaper delivery, and not many people know about it. And unfortunately, I don't think not nearly enough people understand the implications of, eventually this newspaper goes to mail for all the motor routes and a lot of the in-town routes. People are just getting them mailed to them. They're not having them delivered. Eventually, people are going to be tired of getting their paper this way. They're going to just go digital, or they're going to quit. And in either instance, it leads to the end of a physical hard copy newspaper. So what do you wrap your fragiles in when you move? What do you wrap your fish in when you catch them and need to bring them home without them getting slime everywhere? How do you paper train your puppy? What do you line your bird cage with? What do you start your campfire with? The fact that you can just, have a piece of paper somewhere with a Sudoku on it that you got. Yeah, you can get it at other places, but, this is all these things that the newspaper brings, and I understand technology, takes things over and usurps and all that, but there are other off-label description uses of a newspaper that people may not realize are going away when the paper goes away. I don't know how long it is yet. I don't even want to venture a guess. That's dangerous in my opinion. My wife ventured a guess and was very accurate. It's been about 5 years of doing this for me, and she said within 5 years we'd be running out of routes. She used to be a district manager. That's how I got into this job. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this one up and do some papers for a while, and I don't know. I do have another thought I want to speak on at some point about something I referenced earlier about hacks in the physics of reality. There are less computational and more conservational hacks that I use doing newspapers, and I'll get into a few of them maybe. So anyways, that's all for this one.